Intelligent crowd, and it's going to have a lot of questions. You know, the only person who regretted asking questions was Socrates, because that was the reason for which he was sentenced to death. I don't think we have to fear of that. So whatever questions you have in your mind, please put them up and get the benefit of the presence of the panelists over here. So don't carry any questions and doubts and difficulties in your mind, please.
Good evening, everyone. My question is to Kanchan sir. Please, sir, can you throw some light in the difference you experienced in inclusion in different districts of Maharashtra and the same in different countries like Sri Lanka and Jakarta?
In fact, good question. I would very welcome this. You would be very proud to see this, that the activity or maybe the campaign which we started in India, maybe more of the areas where those were inaccessible, or the areas which was devoid of the banking facilities, any finance facility as such. Of course, it was an experiment when all the banks started with this activity, because we had vision, but we were trying for the directions. Thanks to all the regulators who guided us to start up this activity, to provide this facility to so-called underprivileged, unbanked areas, proved to be good. Again, thanks to the people who were waiting for such banks or such facility to come to them, close to them. They responded well, gave us an encouragement to expand this activity in all other locations, and that is the way, that is the phase which we are going through. I would say consolidation, yes, is a phase which is again in a stage which we are going through. Consolidation and further consolidation, definitely these are the stages we are going through. But good thing out of this is that, which all of us will be proud, that the way we implemented this in these areas, backward areas, has been taken as a role model for all these countries. Like when I visited Indonesia, Sri Lanka, so many, Myanmar also, apart from the so-called developed economies, certain portions, certain geographies, all these areas also were in want of such, in search of such facility. Governments were also striving hard as to how to reach to these people with this model, or rather with this facility. They are very keen that yes, this is the portion which has been left out of the benefit, left out of this facility, minimum banking facility. So fortunately enough, they found that the model, again typical, you can say, Asian model. So our Indian model of this financial inclusion became an, I would say, path breaker, torch bearer for these people. And not only that, they replicated the same model, but the basic the principles or the basic applications which we implemented over here has been very successfully within the with the local applications, but guidance from all these countries they implemented. And again, let me tell you with very pride that the model is equally doing well in all these countries. They would like to expand in other geographies as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is to Ritesh, sir. I would like to ask, is microcredit and opening savings account the only way for financial revolution?
No, certainly not. As I mentioned, it can be a foot in the door, but there is always scope to add a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of value-added services. See, whatever needs we have, the same kind of banking needs they may have. Okay. Not to the extent of, I mean, they may not be requiring an Android mobile app to do their banking services, okay? But they may still need a cash in, cash out. They may need a bill payment. They may need maybe to pay their electricity bills. Smaller ticket size transactions, maybe a stripped down version of a regular savings account with not the necessary bells and whistles that we talk of, a minimum 5,000 rupee balance or a 10,000 balance, and you get a gold card and you get a platinum card. That may not be their need. But only a lending and liabilities is the entry point, is what I guess. But the moment they see that a whole lot of other banking transactions which otherwise they end up doing in a cash format, if they are able to do it in an electronic format at a lesser cost, because your cash handling charges will always be higher and they will always be dependent on some kind of a brick and mortar or a physical location where they may have to end up going to do this particular transaction. Well, that can be eliminated by these kind of services.
Hey, yeah, one more hand there going up. We can always take questions later on.
Yeah, later on, yes. After second session.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is how financial inclusion is related in growth of India, inclusive growth of India. How it relates?
Thing is, any economy, the development of an economy will depend on how many of its population size is into the mainstream. Okay. The problem with some of the banks was, as even Kanchan mentioned, was when banks started doing business, at that point of time, the priorities were different. Profitability, getting good customers, building good balances into the bank account, etc.